It was a dark and cloudy day in the Twilight Realm, as usual during this time of the year. The young Twilight Princess was actually surprised that it hadn't started to rain yet. She stared anxiously out of the window from her throne, waiting for something, but not exactly knowing what it was that she was waiting for. Midna sat in a large, empty throne room, with a little empty blanket bundled in her arms.
Oh, what am I to do? The people expect an heir, need an heir. How can I provide one for them if I refuse to marry?
She knew very well who it was that she loved and wished to be with, but it was just so wrong on so many levels. It was the young warrior of 16 who she traveled all across the realm of light with almost exactly a single year ago. He was so strong and handsome and noble. He would have done anything to protect his world and the people he cared about. He would have done anything to save her. Clad in green, the hero's garb, it was so fitting of him. His name was Link.
I know it's against our laws to be one of the light dwellers, which is precisely one of the reasons why I broke the mirror, but...
Midna stood up, dropping the empty blanket on the floor as she headed over to the open window. She reached her hand out to the sky and grabbed at a fragment of twilight matter.
Nothing. Why does it seem so solid? I've always wondered, what exactly am I doing here? What do I hope to accomplish? This twilight matter is just like me, aimlessly floating through dreams, unable to be touched by those who would wish to hold me.
Suddenly, a loud noise filled the halls. A vortex of light opened up on the ceiling to the throne room, and then a small Twilight girl dropped through the portal and landed right in his lap. Midna jumped as the weight of the girl hit her full force.
Ouch! This wasn't how Link felt all those times I jumped onto him in wolf form. If I ever happen to see him again, I'm gonna have to apologize for that.
The girl was perhaps no taller than 4.5 feet in height. Her short, layered, orange-colored hair was spiked at the ends, giving her a kind of, "I'm tough, don't mess with me" look. Her bangs were fashioned in a way that looked very familiar, but Midna just couldn't put her finger on it as to where she had seen that particular bang cut before. The swirling black S design covered her torso, and a black cape with a teal interior hung down her back. Then, the little Twilight girl spoke.
You are Midna, correct?
She looked up at Midna with her big blue eyes.
Wait a minute. Most people do not possess this colour of the eyes. Only those who dwell in light possess eyes that bear the colour of the sky of the realm of light. How can this twilly child have blue eyes?
Well, are you Midna or not?
Midna was caught off guard, as she was still pondering how the girl could have had blue eyes. That just wasn't naturally possible. And wondering how the girl looked so much like she did. She didn't have any sisters or nieces, or any kind of younger females in her family. And also how her hair was not the natural colors of the Twilight hair, but a strawberry blonde, like a mix between the purity of the Hylians and the Twilights.
Strange.
But she nodded her head at the girl in response to her question.
What purpose do you have for barging into my throne room?
Good. I've been looking all over for you.
Suddenly, her scowl turned into a devilish grin. She floated up so she was in front of Midna, and she raised her hands in front of her face.
Tell me where you've hidden the silver tear.
The silver tear? What could she mean? I know no tear.
But then she remembered how almost a year ago she had shattered the mirror of Twilight with one of her own tears. Could that have been the silver tear the girl spoke of? That was merely a small droplet of water, with some salts, nothing more. Her own will had caused it to crystallize into the force that shattered the mirror.
Don't play dumb with me, Princess, the silver tear. Only with that can the true ruler of Twilight destroy the mirror, and only with that can the mirror be restored by the successor of the royal bloodline.
What can you ever hope to accomplish with this silver tear, since I clearly have no child of my own, and so I have no heir? Even a cousin or niece to the throne can use that power, so what could you possibly want the tear for?
But then she looked at a little silver chain that was hanging from the girl's neck, and on the end of it hung a small, silver, tear-shaped pendant.
Just who are you?
Not telling. Now hand over the silver tear.
Midna remembered that look. It was the same look of determination that he had when he was going to destroy Ganondorf. Could this strange girl perhaps be... No. Midna brushed the very thought away. There was no way that this girl could have been related to either her or Link, or any of the other Light Dwellers for that matter. This girl was a race of her own. And how could Link be related to a Twilight anyways? A roughly 10-year-old Twilight for that matter.
But her eyes, they were just like his.
Hey you, stop dazing off. I'm talking to you here. Fork over the tear, or I'm going to have to do something I really don't think you want me to do.
Who are you? Why are you here?
The strange girl suddenly blasted a cluster of light at her. Minna's entire body was engulfed in the bright warmth of the light, and before she knew it, she had slipped into a state of unconsciousness. When she awoke again, the strange girl was floating over her. Her vision was a little fuzzy from the extreme concentration of light previously, but then her eyes began to focus. She mentally thanked Zant, something she never thought she'd do after his betrayal so long ago. But if he hadn't exposed her to the pure light of the light spirits back then, this strange girl's magic would have surely killed her, as it would have any other Twilight. She could see the blue sky quite clearly.
Wait a minute! The sky of my world was never blue. It could be greys, blacks, purples, and all shades of red, orange, and yellow, but never blue.
Whoops, I guess I might have overdone it a bit.
Where am I?
Minna already had a pretty good idea of where she was. The girl sighed and rolled her eyes.
What are you, stupid? This is Hyrule.
Now trapped in the realm of light dwellers with this strange girl, what could the Twilight Princess do but listen to her and follow wherever she was being led to?